What's up, guys? It's DemonNation here, and I have a special guest interview that I am doing today, and we're going to be talking about private servers. We're going to be talking about UIs. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things in compatibility with Dragonball Online. Who I have here today is someone great importance in DBOG, Dragonball Online Global, but when he caught my eye, I saw him streaming, and I was very thrilled by it, and I was like, how the fuck are you doing that? I mean, I want to be playing Dragonball Online like you. And he was like, oh, I'm doing a private server. And I'm like, oh, snap, guys. And I'm talking a lot right now. But right now, here he is. His name is Saito Senpai. And I want to introduce him.
It's actually Saito Senpai, but that's okay. But you can just call me Saito. Alright. So, yeah, I'm Saito, and I work at DBOG as a staff member. I do everything ranging from bug testing to handling the website, forum moderating, or advertisement, whatever I need to do, just to help around.
Yeah, so pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to build this video into segments, and we're going to be talking about real questions on Dragonball Online Global and what they're doing in their private server and on their forums. On top of that, we're going to have fanboy questions from the fanboy himself, DemonNation. We're going to be talking about things that we would expect, things that we wouldn't expect, and things that we just pray to happen but would never happen, and we cry all day about it. So we're gonna get started, but we're gonna get started on real questions list for Dragonball Online Global that I have, and we're gonna get started. All right, like I said that 2 times already, but all right, Saito.
Yes.
So here's the first question. Since DBO Dragonball Online has pretty much did a set down back in the day about a year ago, we've heard about the private servers, and we know that you're doing a Dragonball Online Global private server. Can you talk a little bit about that, how development is and everything?
The development has been ongoing for about 3 months or 2-3 months about now, and it's just all done by one of our coders, and then another one of another coder who all he does is works on networking, but he doesn't show himself on the forum. The only person who publicly show himself on a forum is the administrator, which is Aegis. He's a Hispanic speaker. That's why sometimes he doesn't have the best English, but he tries his best. Danos is the same. He's German. He's the coder, so he doesn't have the best English. And I'm basically the person who does everything, related to the English, it's like socializing or talking to people or making an announcement that is handled. But aside from that, so there's only 3 people who's actually working on DBOG. But as for the translation, we try to form a team. It's going steady, but it still needs some works. But yeah, so we're just translating the game. That's what the translation team does. As for the coders, they've been working really hard. I mean, only 3 months in, we started with nothing, and we came, and look what we got now. If you watch our Facebook or YouTube channel, we got a lot of functional things going on, and we're still working hard at it to try to get everything content-wise in the game. But there's big steps and hurdles. There's stuff that it's just really hard to do, and some people don't understand that, but it takes a lot of work. So we're just trying our best on the developing phase right now. So we announced the closed alpha, so we can do some bug testing. It's not going to have that much content, but it's going to have a decent amount.
Alright, so next question that I have is, based on the user interface on Dragonball Online Global and the skill system, I'm hoping this is the awesome answer that you're going to give me, is anything been better in the skill system? Like, have any percentage gone up? Like, you know how they have the 0.25% higher in attack in this attack, or more defense in this attack? I'm wondering, have you guys gotten started on the skill system? And on the user interface, is it more like easier to move your skills, move your bag, and do everything, or is it just the same as it was before in DBO?
Well, let's start with the first thing you were talking about, the skills. We changed a little bit of things that we saw fit. Like, for example, RP charge when you get hit in battle or by monster, your RP goes up, but we changed that into something else. You know, to go into detail about it, it would be long, but you can see it on our forum, or we can actually explain in better detail on the forum if you guys ask. But it's basically we're changing everything that we see fit that would be better gameplay. As for the UI, at the moment, I think everything is the same except we have given more bag space to the players. I think that's about it. As yeah, everything is the same about the movements. Yeah. So I can't think of anything that is different on the UI part, just except that we have everything.
Alright. So then, in development wise, I was wondering, how's the setting for Dragon Ball Online Global? Like, are you guys like real friends in like real life, where you guys like do talk a lot in Skype besides like programming wise and talking about the private server? Like, do you guys enjoy yourselves more, or do you guys just focus on work all the time?
Most of the time it's work, but we don't actually Skype call or anything. We talk through all of it through chat and text on Skype, and well, it's just you know, mostly work conversation or things that need to get done conversation or something related to DBOG. But sometimes we will talk about anime or another game, just you know, randomly. But that would be about it in terms of interaction. We mostly focus on getting DBO done.
Oh, alright. So then my next question is, what would be the level cap in the game if it were to be like released by this month or next month? Like, what would be the starting level cap?
It would honestly just be 70, but I mean, can you reach 70? Probably not.
I'm sure.
You would need to grind a lot, because at the moment we have all the quests functional, but it doesn't mean everything is related. Everything related to the quest is functional. Like, Time Machine quest is not completed, TLQ is not completed, which is timeline quest where you go back in time, because those are complex instance dungeon style stuff that has to be coded in, and this will intertwine with you know, like dungeons, UD, underground dungeons, Time Machine quests, you know, even the adult changing quests. It's all tied in, so everything has to be done in a step manner, or else you know, we can't just skip to a certain thing. Everything has to be done right, start up from somewhere.
So alright, so what I have in mind right now is, I've been thinking about the service compared to other private servers, and I was wondering, what kind of service would you guys give to your players, and what type of like information you guys would give, and dependable on forums? Like, what would you guys do for your players on the forums, like in service wise and things like that?
You mean as in like free items, or what are you trying to say?
Yeah, like, I don't know, free items, events. Probably like if people need help about the game, or they talk about bugs and things like that. Do you have like those type of sections in your forums?
Yes, if you visit our forums, we have section to report bugs or anything, or suggestions that you may have that would you know, change the course of our development. You could, you know, maybe suggest something, and we could take it up and, you know, talk it over with all the other developers or the admin and see if that would be a good change. As in for services, we're trying to focus on basically a quality game service. How the retail game was a lot of cashier, pay-to-win style things, and there was like a lot of hard moments, like if you go to upgrade your items and it breaks, you lose your item, and we thought that was kind of stupid. So we're working, it isn't finalized yet, but we're working around it, seeing what would be better for the player in terms of you know, gameplay, and in terms of what would be fun for them. So we're basically making the game as fun and playable as possible before we get into all the stuff like, you know, money and stuff that comes along, that has to, you know, be in the game. So we put our players' satisfaction, you know, first, basically.
All right. So Next question is, will characters still be able to be kids and transform into adults, or has the role changed in DBOG? Because supposedly, the private servers, people will have the benefit of the doubt to change from an adult to kid or kid to adult without using kid clock. So I was wondering if you guys are gonna have that, or if you guys are just gonna have it basic how it used to be.
I think in terms of the adult quest, you will turn into an adult. As for the kid clock, we haven't actually discussed that yet, but we could change it to where you don't need a kid clock to change yourself back to a kid. But we'll just have to see. I think we would, in my opinion, if I could change it myself, I would make it into a wish. You gather the 7 Dragon Ball and you transform into a kid again, which would be nice. But that's something. So yeah, it would be the same, but we'll add a system probably to change yourself back to a kid. Not making it to where you need a caching item just to change yourself into a child again. But we'll have to talk it over.
Okay, so another thing that I was trying to wonder about is, have you guys focused so far in the development of Dragonball Online?
How far are we into the development, you said?
Sure, yeah. How far is it in? Like how much have you guys done so far ahead compared to other private servers?
I'm gonna say we are probably more in terms of content, we probably have more. Actually, I'll just go ahead and say we have more than every other server that is working on it. We have everything up to date. But on terms of maybe a little system that they have that we don't have yet, it's because we're not focused on that. We're focused on making the core system better. Like we're focusing on the combat first, like the normal combat, and then we're gonna we already had the debuff, we already had the stun system. Then we're gonna go into more advanced things like adding the nature of your stats: honest, strange, win, elegance. If you played the game before, you would know what that is. We're gonna be adding like the extra stats that you get when wearing your item, stuff like that. It has to be done first before we do stuff like going into dungeons or something, because why go into the dungeons if you don't have your stats working right first?
Yeah.
So we gotta get the basic down first. So that's what we're working on. So in terms of stuff that is completed, we probably are the most completed server.
Wow. Well, I understand that. Well, next that we have, so much I can't even believe I do that. So, but next thing that we have, can characters be able to use different race skills, or will it all be basic as I said before?
Characters are already able to actually use other race skills because back in Taiwan patch level 70, they actually mixed in some skills from different classes. Maybe because they were too lazy to make new ones, but whatever the case may be, there's actually some skills that are entwined, but we're trying to but in terms of making merging more skills and stuff like that, we'll have to see once we have everything working, and then we'll try balancing the game around. But if it has to be done, we'll do it. But if it's just if it doesn't need changing and it's working fine, I think we'll just keep it the way it is. But we could always change things around since we have full control of how the game is being created.
Alright, so that's all the questions for this segment. But this next segment, pretty much, we're gonna let Saito Senpai decide which one do you want to do, the juiciest one. I'm not gonna decide, you're gonna decide. Do you want to talk about DBOR versus DBOG, or do you want to talk about fanboy questions?
I think you can just go ahead and do whichever first.
I want that honor, guest of honor, to do it himself.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and get the fanboy questions out of the way.
Alright, so fanboy question. So first fanboy question is the most fanboy question of them all. We ask every private server about this, but I'm gonna ask it because I always ask it. What would you add to the game if you guys finished it? Would there be add-ons, SSJ2, or different sequences in the game?
We would try to add as much as possible within our power. Like, if we could add, like right now, the ability what we could add is like adding new NPCs or adding new items. So if we can figure out something more later on the line, we'll try to add stuff like new transformations or new content or even a new map. So we'll just have to see as we go along.
All right. So next fanboy question: would you guys add new races to the game besides like, ooh, you can be like a human, or you can be like a, well, pretty much human, or well, I mean, you guys do have human. What am I saying?
Yeah.
I mean, like, would you guys actually add like your own personal races if you guys can?
Yeah. Well, we would actually like to add like Frieza class or different other class from the Dragon Ball Sega or the Dragon Ball storyline, but it has to be something that would make sense into the Dragon Ball online world. But we would love to add those stuff, but we'll have to see what we can do.
All right. Another fanboy question is: would you guys add your own mods to the game, your own personal mods that you guys would actually distribute out yourselves and be like, if anybody likes to mod and likes to mess around with games, you can add this mod to it and it'll actually work?
Yeah, that's actually what I did before DBO Online went down. I was modding Dogi. So yeah, there'll be some official mods if someone is willing to work on them. And maybe sound mods or enhancing the game experience. Yeah, we would be willing to do those things.
All right, and then besides that, another question of a fanboy: would you guys make actual skills and new skills? Like, if you guys do actually make a Frieza clan, would you guys be able to have Death Ball, or do you guys have like a Frieza beam, and would other players be able to use it like humans or Saiyans or whatever we have in DBOG?
We would definitely love to add stuff like that, but we at the moment I don't know if we have the ability. So we love to, but we'll have to see.
Alright, another fanboy question, which is really irrelevant, just to make an icebreaker. What's your favorite what's your favorite anime? Is it Naruto or DBZ?
My favorite anime, that in turn, every one of us have different opinions, I think, on that. I think Danos, I forgot how to pronounce his name. I think he loves High School DxD. For me, I think my favorite anime as a child was Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, but as an adult, I think the best anime to me is Code Geass, which is yeah, it's an anime. You would have to look it up if you wanted to know what it is.
Yeah, Code Geass, kind of what anime is that. I heard that the anime is pretty raw.
Yes.
But alright, so with the fanboys questions done, this is the last one that I want to make of the fanboy question. So, like, if modding were able to happen, would you be able to add your own personal SSJs in the game? Like, let's say you want to make your character look like an SSJ 5 person, you can just have like have a mod that will add more hair to your character and just make it look like he's on SSJ. Would there be able, or would people be able to, or would you guys even be able to add that to the game?
If the player would be able to add it, I don't think we could get into that phase. Maybe they could client mod it themselves, but that's something like that would have to go on along the lines of like after everything is finished, after the whole game is released. But I think it may be a possibility, but this game was created in 2004. Well, actually started development in 2004, so the core engine, we don't know if it can support it, so we'll have to see.
Okay, and another question is, are you guys funded?
Yes, the project is funded in terms of the coder are getting paid. So the website is paid by someone, and the server is paid by someone who is investing in this project. So yeah.
All right,
yeah.
So that makes sense.
So this isn't like a like a kid club where we come together to revive DBO. We're actually in it to make it happen.
All right. Well, with that being said, now we gotta And well, we got to enter our final segment. So the final segment is the main segment of all that everybody thinks behind the scenes. It's pretty much Dragon Ball Online Revelations versus Dragon Ball Online Global.
Yeah, I knew we were gonna get to that. All right,
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah.
so go ahead and shoot.
Everybody looks at the Fury around it, and everybody is really complex about what's going on. Dragon Ball Online Global is funded, and Dragon Ball Online Revelation is not. But the big question is, how are you guys doing it? How is it that Dragon Ball Online Revelations has taken forever to even started their development and still is in development? Has it been a year? I'm not even remembering.
They started about 3 years ago.
Okay, how is it that it started 3 years ago and it hasn't even came up, and you guys are doing it so quick in about 2 months? Not even 2 months. I mean, developed for you guys like 6 months tops. But I'm wondering, how do you guys do that? Like, everybody's crazy about that.
Well, how we do it is basically we have a person who is working full time around the clock coding for us, which is Daniels. He invests all his time into this because it's something that he enjoys doing, and it's something he wants to see done. And just for the fact that we have people who are funding him to do what he likes doing, which is coding. So I think the difference is that just for the fact that DBOR with DBO Revelation has great coders, has great people. Jupi joined them about 3 months, or I think 3 or 4 months ago, which kicked them here. Had a great start for them because they got someone that really knew what he was doing, and he worked pretty good.